Hi there, welcome, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Canada's Movie and TV Hosers. That's Fluffy Kitty there out front there who's making herself known there. This is a show where we discuss all things in pop culture that we love. Movies, trailers, different types of books, TV and streaming, both new and old. I'm one of your hosts, Gregory Barrett, and with me is my lovely wife, Christine.
Hi.
Fluffy Kitty is with us today, but she's a little bit, active. She doesn't want to sit down. She's around. So, breaking things down for you today, we're going to be discussing a couple of trailers. We got the new Haunted Mansion trailer from Disney. There's a new international trailer. It's a short trailer for Shazam, Fury of the Gods. We just watched. Then we got a bunch of reviews. We got The Last of Us, episode 7 that we watched, which we're going to spoil in this episode later on. We got some book reviews. We got the Silmarillion, which is one of our favorites from J.R.R. Tolkien. Then we got All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. We're going to review season 1 of Yellowjackets because that is coming back this month. I believe it's on March 24th. We're getting season 2. So yeah. I hadn't seen season 1, so we got caught up on that. And getting ready for John Wick 4, we're going to be reviewing John Wick 2 from 2017.
Okay.
So we're going to keep reviewing those, and then next we'll do John Wick 3 next weekend.
Okay.
If you enjoy this video, please give us the thumbs up. You can always subscribe. We're posting more content here all the time. And I put the time codes down below, so if you want to skip any sections, you can always jump to the next one. And we're also going to be featuring our new segment that we love, Chakotay's Odyssey, featuring the adventures of Janeway. So here's what we're going to do. Some people are enjoying that, some people are not. So what we're going to compromise here, and we're going to put it at the end of this video, so that when it gets to that, if you're not into it, you can just tune out. But if you do like it, you can check out and watch it and have some good laughs. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I'm not enjoying it at all, and that means I have to still keep on watching that show.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't think so. Anyway.
We're having fun with it. It's nice to review things that aren't always the best. And it's an old piece of property that we can review.
It's not.
So, let's jump right in. We got our trailer. So, we got Haunted Mansion from Disney. This is coming out on July 28th this summer. What did you think of this trailer, dear?
I don't think I saw the original Haunted Mansion.
There was one from a few years back. I heard it was bad.
I didn't. I just remember there was a video game with dancing, and they were dancing to that. Yeah, well...
Good kitty.
I mean, the whole thing about ghost stories and stuff like that is that they're supposed to, slowly, scare you and things you can't see off screen and stuff like that. But this looks like it's all out there. It's just so many special effects, constantly.
Yeah, it's for kids. It looks more of a comedy than a thriller. It's not meant to scare the crap out of kids.
Well, it's good for kids to have a good ghost story.
I mean, it's Disney. They're not going to make something to give everyone nightmares.
No, but it doesn't... The purpose of it is to be a little scary. It doesn't look very scary to me. It just looks like a lot of really purple effects, and I don't know. I don't think they're getting the point of a haunted show, what it should be about.
You do know this is based off of a Disney ride.
Okay, but the fact is, it just looks so over the top. I don't know if anyone's going to enjoy it, but whatever.
What I'm hoping this is like Clue. Remember we reviewed Clue last month from 1985? That is a scary movie that was designed for kids, right? It's not that scary. It's mostly just fun. And so it's not too intense or anything. And it's just more of in the scary genre. But it looks like a comedy. You got Rosario Dawson, who's always amazing. You got Owen Wilson, also who's always amazing. Apparently Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. I didn't see her in the trailer.
Maybe she plays the ghost.
We saw Danny DeVito in the trailer.
Yeah, we see Danny DeVito.
And we also saw a lot of Lakeith Stanfield. And he can be really good. Well, he was in some great stuff.
If it's a comedy, that's great. But, I don't know. Kids...
I was laughing at this trailer.
It looks a lot.
Well, there was another Haunted Mansion movie a few years back. I never saw it, but everyone said it was terrible, so I never went to go see it.
No.
This, judging by the trailer, I mean, it could be a good trailer for a bad movie, but it looked fun. I laughed at quite a bit of it. The one thing that that I'm not looking forward to about it, that makes me think this could be bad, guess who's in it?
I don't know.
Jared Leto.
What's wrong with Jared Leto? He's a very good actor.
Yeah, but he's
You
not a
just don't
good
like
dude.
Jared
He's
Leto.
not a good
Leto.
dude. You know,
Well,
he spreads all kinds of rumors
I don't know anything.
and causes a
I
lot of
know
problems on
he's
set.
He's a good actor, and whatever. Anyway, I don't know. It doesn't. I think they're losing what a haunted movie should look like. It doesn't look right to me. Put it that way. It doesn't look right.
This
to me.
is just
Kids
another.
deserve a good scary movie. When I was a kid, that was the thing that I was really into, and this looks lame.
Yeah, but you're not going to show a 10-year-old kid Event Horizon that we watched a while
No,
back.
but
That's a bit too much.
You can put some. This doesn't look scary enough. It looks just kind of lame with so much special effects. Every second of the trailer has a special effect in it.
I don't think it's going to be scary. I'm hoping it's just going to be funny.
I don't know.
It might be a little creepy. There was some creepy stuff in the trailer with Lakeith Stanfield walking down the hallway, and then the picture keeps changing.
So much though. Anyway, I don't know. Looks like.
Okay, you know Lakeith Stanfield. He was in Get Out.
It looks silly to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway.
I'm looking forward to it, even though it has Jared Leto. Hopefully, this is a good movie. Hey, when we talk about David Ayer's Suicide Squad, that's when you're going to learn about how terrible Jared Leto was.
Listen, Jared Leto can act.
Well, he's an Academy Award-winning actor.
What was it? Morpheus?
Morbius. Yeah.
I get all my Morbius.
That's not his fault. That's not his fault. That's Sony's fault for
acting a little
making
hard
that
out in that, but it was a bad movie. Anyway, it doesn't. It looks like disappointing. It looks too goofy. Anyway, a haunted movie should not be goofy. Anyway,
it's
that's
based
my
off
opinion.
of a Disney ride, just like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I know, but it does. To me, it looks lame. Anyway.
So you're not going to see this?
Probably not, unless people say it's hilarious or something. Probably not. No.
Well, judging by this first trailer, I'm looking forward to seeing Haunted Mansion by Disney coming out on July 28th. Who's it directed by? Justin Simeon. I don't know who that is, but it's got an all-star cast.
It does.
I mean, it's Disney. They got all the money in the world. So I'm interested in checking this out. Is anyone else interested in checking this out? Have a look at the trailer on YouTube for Haunted Mansion, coming out in July of this year, and let us know what you think down in the comments below. Moving on, we got another trailer. Yes, we got Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This was a short international trailer that just got released today.
Yeah.
So it mostly had footage that we seen. There was a little bit of more stuff in it and a little bit more jokes, which I found funny. What do you think about this? I'll let you start off first. Does this make you more excited to see Shazam! Fury of the Gods?
Kind of made me less excited.
How so?
I have a feeling that the only jokes were in the trailer, but...
Think so?
Mm-hmm, because they used the same joke they did in the last trailer. And there's like 3 bad ladies, I think. I don't know who the third one is. Looks like there's 3 of them. Anyway, I don't know. I love the first Shazam. I'm not sure about this. The trailer made me not really care for it that much, because those jokes we saw already.
We saw some of them, yes, but then there were some new ones there. There's the part where he's closing the door. He's like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, that was a new part, but I don't know. It makes me suspicious when they put the exact same 2 jokes in the 2 different trailers. It makes you a bit suspicious.
Maybe. I hope this isn't a case where they put all of the jokes in the trailers.
I'm worried about that. It could be. It kind of made me less excited for it. If they made a trailer, it's basically similar to the other trailer, and just a little bit longer.
Yeah. They haven't really told us too much about it. We know that Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are the villains in this.
Yeah.
Jamon Hansu's in it, because we see him in the trailer. He's back as whatever wizard he is.
Power is what I'm getting.
I'm thinking, based on the previous trailer 3 that came out a couple weeks back, with the Super Bowl, I think. Here's what I think is going to happen in this movie. They're all Billy and his friends, okay, his foster family, they all got the Shazam powers, but they're all going off doing their thing. They're not really helping each other. They're just living their own lives. And what's going to happen is when Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu show up, they lose their powers. So all the shots that we see of like his family in the trailers with them and their Shazam powers, I think that's early on in the movie. Because we saw from the last one that they all lose their powers, and I think what's going to happen is
It does look that
Billy
way.
is going to have to fight them on his own, right?
It does
And
look
that's
that way.
at the stadium at the end. They're like, "This we finish this," and he's like, "Yes, we do." Now I'm hoping this is a fun, wacky movie. One of the concerns is that though they haven't really given us a good reason to watch this movie. In a sense, it's like, okay, there's a couple villains, they're summoning dragons and magic and everything. But so what? That's just generic superhero movie. Why should we watch this movie?
I don't know.
The first one was all about the family dynamic.
Yeah.
And it was really funny. And it was about Billy fitting in with this foster family as well as finding his mom.
But I mean, that. Yeah, the gig is up. He's a kid. We know that. He's a kid that turns into a man all of a sudden. We know that already.
I think those kids are older now.
I'm a bit. I don't know. I'm not as excited now after seeing that. I don't know. I hope that they didn't wreck it. I hope it's just as sweet as the first one.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the two kids in the first one. The kids who played Billy and the other Freddie. Okay, the kid who has the limp, he's got that crutch. That was the character's name was Freddie.
But I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. It seems like it's a lot.
Yeah,
it might be losing, like, it might have lost track of what it's trying to talk about.
Asher Angel, who plays Billy Batson.
Yeah.
He's 20. He's 20.
Yeah, well,
he's gonna be 21 this year.
They have grown up in this movie.
These kids are growing up.
It's the next, like, it doesn't seem to be back when the first movie was. The time has passed. It looks of it, but anyway,
it takes time to make these movies.
Anyway, I don't know. Hopefully, it's good. It does seem like just a lot of special effects and stuff. I hope they're not like messing up the story.
I hope it's not just generic superhero, just CGI effects. I mean, I don't need to see that.
That's what I was getting to from that trailer. I wasn't really getting a good theme coming out.
If I asked you, when did the first Shazam come out? When do you think it came out? It was pre-pandemic.
It was pre-pandemic. I went in the summer. I went with my friend.
Yeah. It came out, I think, in April, though, but it ran through the summer.
I was there at Easter time, I suppose.
Yeah?
Might have been at Easter. Anyway.
It came out in 2019.
Yeah, Easter.
The year before the pandemic.
Maybe Easter 2019, or we were there in July 2019.
Apparently everything came out in 2019, because everything I look up lately came out, like, right before the pandemic.
The year we didn't know we should hold on to.
Yeah. Jeez, seems like forever ago.
2020 was going to be so great. It sounded so neat. It had great vision, 2020. Anyway.
No, man, it's like, got to 2020, it's like, welcome to this terrible future of being isolated inside and there's a pandemic outside and you got to get vaccinations to do stuff. And I'm like, this is a crappy future.
It's been a lot. Anyway, we're slowly creeping out of that.
But I'm still looking forward to Shazam.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my most anticipated for March. Of all the amazing things we're getting in March, okay? Shazam, John Wick 4, what else we get? We got Creed 3. We're
Woody
getting
Harrelson movie.
Champions with Woody Harrelson. 65 with Adam
65
Driver.
with Adam Driver.
Even, I think we're getting that Tutor movie that we talked about. That's coming out at the end.
The Tutor.
That's what I said, the Tutor.
You said it right this time.
Why are you always giving me a hard time on this?
It was just funny.
You're the one with the funny accent, and you're giving me a hard time about how I talk?
Mr. Upper Canadian. Anyway.
Okay, I don't talk with an East Coast accent.
No, you have an Upper Canadian accent.
Although, when I go to Western Canada, or talk to people from Western Canada out in Alberta and the prairies like Saskatchewan or BC, they say I have a great Eastern Canadian accent. I'm sitting there, what are you talking about?
No, they say Eastern. Eastern means Ontario, Quebec.
No, they think I'm doing a maritime accent.
They think everybody in the... No, you don't understand. When they say Eastern, they mean Ontario, Quebec. They say Atlantic, they mean, like, me.
Well, the point is...
But they think we all live in Newfoundland or New Brunswick. They forget about PEI in Nova Scotia.
Well, I'm not from the Maritimes, and the point is you have an East Coast accent, and I don't have an accent because where I'm from, everyone talks this way, so...
Yeah. You did...
Getting back to our point, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, coming out March 17th. I'm so excited for that. I don't think it's going to make a lot of money, but I'm really excited for this. I can't wait. Oh, we're also getting Dungeons and Dragons on Among Thieves at the end of the month. And I still don't know what's going to make the most money this month. I don't even know if anything this month is going to hit $1 billion.
65 maybe. They're pushing.
That's not going to hit $1 billion.
There's a lot of commercials for kids love dinosaurs.
True, but that's more of a scary movie.
It's a dinosaur movie.
True. Okay, but getting back, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. You heard what we think. I'm really excited for it. Christine, not so much.
Not so much
Oh,
now.
well.
I don't know. I was a little soured on it.
What do you guys think about Shazam? Did you see the first one? I really enjoyed it. What did you think of the first one?
Oh, I like the first one.
Let us know what you think about Shazam and what you think about the upcoming Shazam 2. And if it's in the future and you've seen it, let us know what you think, and we'll read it out on the next episode.
Yeah.
So, that is Shazam. Now we're going to jump into our review. So, last Sunday, a week ago today, because it's Sunday now, we saw The Last of Us, episode 7.
Well, I watched it on Monday in the daytime.
And it was called Left Behind. It wasn't that scary.
It was terrifying. I literally watched it in the daytime and I had my finger on the pause button so I could pause it because it got too stressful.
You should stay up tonight and watch it with me.
Oh my gosh. I knew something bad was going to happen. Okay, spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Put up the thing.
We had already heard that the girl Ellie had been bitten by a zombie in the mall.
Yeah, we saw it on her arm.
And the person that was with her that she cared a lot about didn't make it. She had already said that. And so here they are in the mall, her and her bestie.
Yeah,
and
Storm Reed.
Paying no attention to anything. They're like playing video games with all the noises. There's no way they would know if there was a zombie there.
One of the clickers.
Yeah, and then they're in the photo booth with the curtain closed, and they're acting.
Yeah, anyone could sneak up while they're in there.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen. And then finally at the end, and they're dancing up on the shelves, and then this still doesn't come, but you see the zombie coming.
Yeah, they showed it earlier in the episode, so you know it was there.
There's a reason why no one's in there. It's because of this. But the whole idea of why they went there was that the power had just been restored to that area.
Well, the power had been restored to that block.
They went there.
But the mall had been sealed off, so it was accidentally hooked up to power, even though no one's supposed to go in there because it's condemned.
And
but
it was
Storm
really
Reed,
creepy.
who we just saw last month in Missing, she's great in that.
I didn't see Missing, but yeah, she's good. She was held up. She was living in the food court essentially of this mall. They had posted her there.
Yeah.
But they don't really care about her too much because they didn't clear the area.
So this episode it starts off where the previous episode ended because Joel's injured and Ellie's got to look after her. And so then most of this episode was just flashbacks. So we see Ellie's past. She's growing up in this because she lives in like the federal quarantine zone. Yeah. And all the kids are in this academy. It's like military academy.
But they don't learn much.
And they're trained to be soldiers essentially.
Yeah, they don't learn a lot about the world and stuff because as we find when she's talking with Joel these past few episodes, he's like talking about things she has no idea because they don't teach her anything. She complains about her schooling that they're not teaching her anything. Looks like she just
like every kid.
Gotta run around. No, I don't think they are. Because they're just like running around and she's having a hard time because her best friend who was her roommate or protector has gone missing. So, and she's getting beat up.
Yeah, but she doesn't need a protector. No, she beats the crap out of that other kid.
Well, that was the first time. She's not doing well there. Anyway, and then her friend returns. She's joined the Fireflies and they posted her at this mall.
Yeah,
and
which is a rebel group.
Ellie with her to show her the mall because of course these kids have never seen a mall, not normal life. The world basically stopped in 2003, I think it is.
Yeah.
And
that first episode
these kids were born like they don't know any normal life. Anyway, so they're having a fun time at the mall, like
they're going to the arcade. They're going to the photo booth. Where else did they go? What was the other fun things? Oh yeah, the escalator. She loved the escalator.
Yeah, she goes on.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of a great scene from Wonder Woman '84 with Chris Pine, and he's going up and down the escalators because it's 1984, and he's from the First World War, so he's like, "Oh my God, moving stairs!
Listen,
this is amazing."
That was my class in grade 9 when we all went to like Ottawa and Quebec. Oh my gosh, these are cool because our mall's all on one level.
You gotta have escalators in the mall for teenagers.
We have malls on only one level. Still, there's no escalators.
What did you do as teenagers then?
We walked a lot.
That's what teenagers are supposed to do. You get baked and then ride the escalators up and down at the mall.
There's no getting baked for us. Anyway, we went to Orange Julius and slurped our Orange Julius and walked them all. That's all. We got more exercise than you guys.
missed out. You missed out.
Anyway, it's terrifying because you know they're gonna have an altercation, and they do, and it's really scary. And then in the end, they're both bitten. We know that Ellie has immunity, and obviously we know her friend does not. Yes. So we don't really know where it goes from there, but
she doesn't know she's immune at that time.
And they decide to, well, her friend basically decides for them that they're just going to wait it out. Which is a bad choice. Mm-hmm. It's for humanity, but they're teenagers. For humanity, you should.
Well, they think they're both gonna die.
You should get rid of yourself because the problem is, when you get this disease, sometimes you live forever and you can make other people sick. Other people just pass away right away. It's very strange the way that it's happening. Mm-hmm. So basically, by not doing away with themselves, they're putting the world at risk because there are now 2 other infected people that could infect others. So they're propagating.
So what happens? Did we see what happens to Storm Reed at the end?
No, we don't. But we know that from what Ellie had said previous, she doesn't make it. So we don't really know what happens. But somehow after that point, her friend passes, and the fireflies get a hold of the girl that's immune, and they basically need her, and they capture her essentially.
Yeah, at the end they're like holding each other, the 2 friends, even though they've both been bitten, so they know that. And then it cuts back to the present with Joel, and she stitches up Joel.
She decides she's gonna stay and help him because he wants her to go, but she can't. She can't really go by herself anyway, but she's helping him. And
he's become a surrogate father for her, and she's become his surrogate daughter.
Yeah.
For the daughter that he lost.
Sort of.
Back in the first episode.
Very resistant to that. He's been through a lot.
You notice how there's so much emotional weight in this show? Every time they introduce another character, pretty much all the time there's all this emotional weight.
Oh, yeah.
And they tell you a lot of their backstory, and then that character's dead now in a tragic way. Everyone dies really tragically in this.
I thought it was really interesting in the episode before this how Joel, his whole purpose is he's going to find his brother, and then when he finds him, he doesn't tell him the truth. He keeps things from him. He's very suspicious of him. I thought that was because he's had to live that way. Mm-hmm. And so even with his brother, once he sees the situation his brother's in, he doesn't tell him the truth, and he keeps a lot of things from him.
His brother's doing really good. They got that great community there in Banff. His brother's
actually very successful.
So, but he still continues on his quest to drop off, to take Ellie to this. Yeah. They're taking him to a lab.
Anyway, and that doesn't go well. So we'll see where they go next week, but oh my gosh, I was terrified. Anyway, I wouldn't have slept all night if I would have watched it last Sunday.
So you gonna stay up tonight and watch it with me?
No. I've been up since 6:30. No.
Okay. I'm gonna stay up tonight, so I will be posting probably a spoiler reaction after the episode. It'll just be one of my 1 minute or less reaction shorts.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that later on tonight. Hopefully this episode will be up by then too.
Yeah,
I gotta
still edit it and everything. Awesome episode. Every episode of this show has been awesome.
Tonight we're getting episode 8, When We Are in Need, is what it's called. And then the following week we get the final episode, episode 9.
There's only 2 left. There's not 10. There's only 9.
Yeah, but it's HBO. They're hour-long episodes or more.
I know. I'm enjoying it so much.
And we're going to get a season 2 of this.
What a great...
There's more than one game, and so wait till you get to the end of this season.
Well,
you're going to be really...
Don't say anything. Shh. Anyway, I'm loving it. I mean, this week we got that, and we got Picard, and those 2 shows were awesome. This is like the television that we're getting.
Well, we're getting spoiled
really
lately.
Great.
We got
really
The Last of Us, okay? Star Trek Picard Season 3.
Yeah,
Last year, we're getting The Mandalorian Season 3.
Yes.
We're getting Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 right now, which some people are loving, some people not as much. Last year we got House of the Dragon, which was amazing, Season 1. Yeah. We got Season 1 of Rings of Power, which was pretty good, but not as good as House of the Dragon.
I watched it again. I enjoyed it more when I watched it a second time. Because I think we didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
And it was a lot...
There's a tone and kind of a pacing issue.
So epic on that one,
but we're going to be getting... But we got a Tolkien, Middle-earth series as well as a Game of Thrones series at the same time. Yeah. Man, we're getting spoiled with great television.
Yeah.
And there's tons more coming up. So, geez. We're just we're being spoiled so much. So, Last of Us, which is probably the biggest show on television right now, apart for Yellowstone, is another one of the biggest shows
and I
right
didn't
now.
care for that.
We're not talking about because we don't have Paramount Plus and we're
it's
not
great.
into it.
I hope
Are
can
you
sleep
watching
tonight.
The Last of Us? Okay. If you're not watching The Last of Us on HBO, what are you doing with your life?
The problem is
you gotta
a lot
get
of
into
people
it.
don't
It's
have
great.
HBO. Like, we had a guy at the office, I was talking to him the day. I said, "Are you watching The Last of Us?" He's like, "Oh my gosh, I really want to watch that, but my wife canceled Crave on me."
Because here in Canada,
So,
we watch it on Crave. We don't have HBO
He
Max.
hasn't been able to
So I
watch
canceled
it.
his
He was
subscription.
like, they have all these other ones. You know, it's so hard because there's a show you really want to watch, and then, you know.
Wherever you are in the world, get HBO, whether it's on HBO Max or Crave or some other service. I know it's through someone else in Australia. They have HBO Max in the UK,
There's
but wherever you are, get
fantastic
HBO
shows.
and watch this show. It's amazing. You won't regret it. Let us know your thoughts on this show if you're watching it, or even if you don't like it, let us know your thoughts down below and why. You know, we want to hear from you.
Moving on, what's our next
Okay, so that's it for The Last of Us.
we're going
What is our
to
next thing that we're
do?
going okay, we have some book reviews here.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been reading a bunch of books?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have something for you, dear.
Oh, no.
So,
More love poetry.
it is told among the wise that the first war began before Arda was fully shaped, and ere yet there was anything that grew or walked upon earth. And for long, Melkor had the upper hand. But in the midst of the war, a spirit of great strength and hardihood came to the aid of the Valar, hearing in the far heaven that there was battle in the little kingdom.
Okay,
And-
no more.
Hold on. And Arda was filled with the sound of his laughter.
Okay. Close
Don't you
it
want to
up.
know who it was?
No, I don't.
Ooh, cliffhanger for everyone out there.
Yeah,
That
so
is from
exciting.
J.R.R. Tolkien's The Silmarillion. Classic tale
Yes,
from
and I know
1977.
We have talked about it. I was trying to get through it. I really suffered. This took me like a month to get through. It was torturous.
On an audiobook.
Listen, it's an
Yeah, you listen to it.
encyclopedia. Okay? You can... Okay, I would just skip it. Just read the Coles notes.
That's your review?
That's my review. It is
Skip
terrible.
it.
If you want, read the last two parts. If you want to know
What are the
what
last two parts?
you need to know for the movies, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, read the last two sections
Okay.
and don't read anything else. And
I
just
assume
read
you're
the
not talking
Coles
about the
notes.
genealogy tables.
No.
I think you're talking about the Akalabeth.
Just read the last
And then
two
the next
sections.
section is of the Rings of Power and the Third Age,
Just
which Lord of
read-
the Rings and the Hobbit takes place in the Third Age.
Just read that.
So-
Skip the rest. It's terrible.
Now,
Anyway, it's an encyclopedia. So you're literally reading an encyclopedia.
No.
It's incredibly boring.
no.
I couldn't stand it. All you need to do is get the Coles notes on this. Don't bother reading it.
People love this book.
I don't know why. I certainly don't like it. Anyway, that's my review of that. Get the Coles note, read the last two sections, you're done. Now,
I would
what I
disagree
did-
with you.
finally,
Hold on, we're still on the
no,
Silmarillion. Can I say
we've
a couple
already
things on
talked
it?
about it so much.
I just want to say that after I finished my Star Wars book last weekend,
Which also seems incredibly boring.
no, this is better than that, but it was still had some interesting stuff
It
in
wasn't
it.
really bad.
So
that's
I'm
fine.
not rereading the Silmarillion again. I've probably read it like 5 times in my life. I will read again, but I did read a couple sections of it. I read the first 2 sections, the Anu Lindale and the Valaquenta. So if any hardcore Tolkien Middle Earth fans out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. The Anu Lindale is about the creation of the world and of the Valar and the song of Ilúvatar.
God.
And then the
Here, I'll
Valaquenta.
sum it up for you. Ilúvatar is like the god. He created the world.
Ilúvatar.
Whatever.
That's
He
the
made
being.
elves. He made the Valar, which are like the powerful ones. Then he made, and the problem was he had one dude that he created. Everyone was at peace, and his name was Melkor, and he liked to sing a different song. And then when Ilúvatar said he didn't really care for that, Melkor got really mad. And he took off, and he's been causing problems ever since. And he basically created, what's his name? Sauron. And he's the evil in the world.
Sauron is one of the Maiar.
Well,
the servants of the Valar.
He is bad, and everything he did was to destroy and take everything from everyone else. And the problem was something beautiful was created, and they were these stones called the Silmarils. And once they were created
by Fenar.
The problem was once they were created, everybody wanted them, and that caused jealousy. They wanted to covet those things. It's like the Ten Commandments.
Do you know why they coveted them? It wasn't just because they were jewels. No, because they contained the light of the 2 trees of Elendil.
Yeah, they were
And
good.
Melkor and his servants destroyed those trees. Was it trees or they were like posts or something? Anyway, he destroyed those 2 orbs. Survived. But the light of them still survived in the Silmarils.
Well, it was more than that. Anyway, they all wanted them. They kept on stealing them from each other. And this is what caused all the strife in the world and caused so much problems. And so it's basically...
It's kind of an oversimplification.
That's what I'm doing for people. So don't read it. That's what happens. They all get on the other side of another person, and they all want the Silmarils. And then in the end, finally, as we know, as we watched in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, the Ring of Power is destroyed, and all that Melkor energy goes down.
Yeah. The elves don't call him Melkor.
And therefore, now that's all over with.
Okay.
And that's ended. So now we're in the next age, and that's what The Lord of the Rings ends. All this stuff ends.
These
and
stories,
it's the time of men. That's what all you need to know.
Melkor, whom the elves call Morgoth, because they refuse to call him Melkor, because he's no longer considered one of the Valar, because he's causing all kinds of problems. He's bad. And it's essentially, this story draws a parallel. It's essentially saying he's Lucifer, okay?
No,
he was the most gifted of the Valar.
Lucifer,
he was the most gifted of the Valar, and he fell from grace.
He's
so
greedy. He wants everything that everyone else has, and if he can't have it, he wants to destroy it.
Yeah, his heart is full of jealousy and envy.
It's not really like the devil. It's more like, I think he's making a parallel to commerce and destroying the world, trying to get resources and stuff
disagree.
Like that.
I think this is a comparison to Judeo-Christian theology.
Boring. That's all I'm going to say. So that's it. Let's move on.
Okay, before we move on, what's your rating? What's your rating of it? What's your rating of the Silmarillion?
It's an encyclopedia. So how do you write an encyclopedia?
Is it best book ever? I give it best book ever.
I give it worst book ever.
Ouch.
Give it a 25.
Ouch. Okay.
It's terrible.
Are there any fans of the Silmarillion out there, or of Tolkien's work in general? I know it's kind of dry, but some people like it, some people don't, Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, please. Now, quickly, before we get to your next review, okay, I just want to mention something. This isn't a review. So I finished my other book, the Star Wars High Republic book, The Fallen Star. And I'm taking a short break from the High Republic series. I'm going to go back to it, because there's one High Republic series book I'm going to read next. It's Dooku, Fallen Jedi. So,
okay,
and I'm interested in that, and it's closer to the movies because it's.
I like the sound of that one.
It's before Phantom Menace, but it's characters we know. However, I'm taking a short break, and I'm reading something from Legends. I'm reading Star Wars, Darth Plagueis, and you might recognize that name from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, when Palpatine tells Anakin the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Yeah.
Who was his master.
Right.
So I'm reading this book
he kills him off.
Yeah. In fact, that's the epilogue of this book. Is Sidious killing Plagueis.
Okay.
That's the epilogue. So, but then it goes into the book. It's all about Plagueis, and I'm reading about this. He's like one of they're called Mun, and Mun. They're the banking clan people. We saw some of them in the prequel movies there. So he's one of those people, and so I'm interested in learning about
Federation.
This. No, that's the Trade Federation. The banking clan is different from the Trade Federation.
Sorry.
They're the bankers of the galaxy. They're the ones we saw it in Clone Wars too, with where they need to get more funds for the Clone Wars, banking stories, because that's what Star Wars is all about, trade and doing math and blockades, apparently, according to George Lucas. So I'm reading this and I'll report back. It's Legends, so it's not canonical, because this came out prior to Disney buying it. This was from 2012, I believe, because it's all Legends now. It's not considered canonical, but it still has good stories and they might use it, and I'm just interested in learning about it. So Christine has if you've read Star Wars Darth Plagueis or any of the other Legend stuff, let us know down in the comments below what you think. What is your next review there, dear?
Trying to get to it. It's like I was trying to get through the Silmarillion for months so I could read something better. It's called All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers.
Okay.
And it's really well written. I did like it a lot. It's a thriller kind of thing.
Give us the premise of the book.
It's a person. It's about a woman who has been affected by a crime all her life.
What kind of crime?
I don't want to say. I'm not spoiling it. She's been affected by a crime that happened across the street from her house her entire life. And she's become a reporter, and she reports on crime. And she's especially reporting all kinds of like kidnappings and things like that. And the crime was a kidnapping across the street, and she is no one ever really solved it. There's just a lot of rumors in the town, and that's all good people here in this very small town, Wakaruso. And basically, it's like all the townsfolk gossip about everyone and have made their minds up about who did the crime, even though it's never been really solved. So she goes about to try and solve it, but in the meantime, she's really in trouble because she has to go. She doesn't live there anymore, but she has to go home because her uncle, who basically sort of raised her, or was the family that was the best to her, her family wasn't very good, he's got dementia now, and she has to go home and live with him. And so, and in the meantime, she's trying to write her stories, trying to investigate this crime, and trying to look after her uncle. And her uncle's getting violent and it's really difficult for her. Yeah, very bad dementia.
And meanwhile, she's traumatized from this event that happened when she was younger.
Yeah, and it talks about everybody in the town that has been traumatized by it as well. Anyway, that's what it's about. Wakaruso.
Okay, is this U.S.?
It means...
So it's small town America.
Yeah, it means...
I'm just trying to get the setting.
Getting stuck in the mud. It's a Native American word. It means... It used to be called Salem, so they had to change the name. Because it had the same being called Salem? Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah, so they changed the name. Anyway, that's the name of the town. But anyway, it's very interesting. It's very good. It has a lot of twists and turns in it, and you're constantly trying to figure out who did the crime, right?
It's a whodunit story?
In a lot of ways, but it's also her own journey and what she goes through. Anyway, I really enjoy it, and I thought it was great.
So is this a murder mystery? Or just a mystery thriller?
It's a multiple crime mystery.
Is this true crime or is it fiction? No,
it's not true crime.
Okay, it's fiction.
But people that in true crime, apparently there's a element of it that was in a true crime podcast that people are on. Because people are really into the true crime these days, but it's really well written. She's a great writer.
What's the name of the main character?
Margot.
So Margot
Davies
is a investigative journalist?
Sort of. She's a journalist. She writes about crime. That's what she is.
I hate stories about investigative journalism. No.
She's a reporter. That's her job. But her job now is looking after her uncle, who is really going downhill. Her aunt has passed away, and she's back in the town where she grew up. So of course these things are all coming back to her. But she's never left. That crime has never left her. It's left such a scar on her.
Yeah, she's been traumatized. I get it.
And the other people in the town. Anyway, it's very good. It's the ending is fantastic. I'm not going to say anything else. I totally recommend it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. What kind of rating would you give it?
I give this like a 95, 96.
Okay, so it's really good book, and it's called...
All the Good People. Oh, only good people here. All the good people here.
All good
people here. It's basically
here?
saying, Yeah, all good people here. Basically, like Ashley Flowers. Basically, they're saying like this is our town is only good people. Like of course only good, but yet they gossip about everybody.
That's every small town.
Yeah, this is about small town, but it's also about that effect and how that has a big effect on people, especially one of the characters. In the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't comment on it because I haven't read it, but Christine gives high praise for this.
Yep.
So
it's good.
Almost as high praise as you gave the Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Now this was such a relief to read after going into that suffering through that.
People like that movie.
I'm sorry. I don't know. You can't like an encyclopedia.
Why not?
Anyway, okay, let's move on.
So,
what's our next
review? Are you reading All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers? Have you read it? I can't comment on it. Christine says it's great. Let us know your thoughts on it. If you're going to check it out, leave a comment down below and we'll read it out on the next episode. So, Yellowjackets is coming out for season 2 on March 24th, I believe. More great TV that we're getting. So we watched all of season 1. We didn't see it when it was new, so we just watched it in the last couple of weeks. 10 episodes of season 1. What are your thoughts on Yellowjackets?
Oh, it's a great show.
I'll give you the quick premise of this show. It's about a group of people that survived a traumatic event in the 90s when they were teenagers. They were on a class trip and their plane crash landed. So first thing I think is the movie Alive, which is from the 90s. It has a lot of so apparently they're stuck out in the Appalachians or somewhere in the woods in the U.S. and no one can get to them, which kind of doesn't make any sense. And so they end up being stuck there and they have to survive they make the decision they want to survive, but that's the wrong choice. They should be making the decision to be rescued. They want to be rescued, not survive out there forever.
Yeah.
And the problem is they end up staying there for so long, and they're hungry. They're hungry. Well, we've only seen they crash landed. It's like the middle of the summer, beginning of the summer.
We've only seen until winter.
And now it's getting to winter, right?
Yeah.
So they've had to survive this whole time.
But apparently there's another year that they go through. But
this is old, so we're going to spoil this.
Instead of writing help and seashells on the beach or something, they don't do anything like that. They also are not preparing for winter. They're not very smart as far as that. They're not they should have teams of them chopping wood.
Well, they're not survivalists.
No, but
one of them sits around doing nothing but complaining.
You gotta have wood and stuff like that. Anyway, they're just, or make a clearing, and even now that it's snowing, write it in the snow, help or something.
Well, what happens is the plane crash lands. Okay. Oh, by the way, so this series takes place in the past with the teenagers, and then it takes place in the future with the adults, and not all of them are still alive.
The problem is these girls went through things, and they had to really be primitive. So now they're all grown up, and they have children. Some do not, but they're all trying to function in modern society. But they still have all this primitive stuff in them.
Well, they have all this trauma from this event.
But no, they're also they're fight or flight mode. They don't look at the world like everyone else does. They're going, they're expecting a wolf to come around the corner and bite
I'll give you a little bit more information here.
Second.
So the plane crash lands, and then they're at the plane crash. We already said we're spoiling it.
No, don't spoil it. We don't need to spoil it. Anyway, it's very good.
This is from 2021.
It doesn't matter. People are going to watch it now because season 2 is coming out. Don't spoil it. We don't need to spoil it. Anyway, it's really good, and it shows what's happened to these ladies.
Here's what I thought as I was watching this episode. I was thinking back to school, to college or high school, and you would do these short exercises where it's you crash landed in the ocean or something, and it gives you a list of things. Yeah, this is a standard exercise, and they do it for work too. And they give you a list of a dozen items, and you have to rank the items of their importance, right?
Okay.
So first thing you have to do is you sit down and be okay, what's our goal? Our situation is for these girls, they've crash landed in the woods. They're not going to be rescued because of what someone else did, which apparently I'm not allowed to spoil. And you have to decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to be rescued, or do you want to survive out here in the woods? And the important thing is, you want to be rescued, because that's your best chance of long-term survival. If you just try and stay alive in the woods, eventually you're going to run out of resources, and the weather's going to get pretty bad. Now, they do get some shelter and everything, and they have access to water.
The problem is, they can't get rescued because they don't know where to go. And that's the problem.
Yeah, but the point is that you want to be rescued, so they take steps that are incorrect, because you want to be rescued, so you want to actually do things that are going to make yourself be rescued and not just survive out in the woods for a long time. And they make the wrong decision, and that's what leads to them being out there for months on end.
I don't think that's the point at all of it. I don't think that's the point at all.
This was my thoughts. Why are you arguing with me on my thoughts of while I'm watching this show?
I don't think that they can't be rescued. This is the issue. They're stuck in this problem.
Okay. Spoilers. Okay. So they crash land. Okay. There's a plane crash in the woods, and they're like, okay, we gathered up what we can, but we got to get away from it because it could blow up. And then they decide, okay, there's a lake there. We're going to go to the lake because there's water there, right? And there might be food, too. So they write on the plane, SOS, we've gone to the lake, right? But no one's going to see it because it's in the middle of the woods, right? So they go through there, and they find that, and then they find this cabin, which has a dead body in it, and it's way out in the middle of nowhere. Some hermit was living there. So they decide they're going to live in this thing until they get rescued. That's the wrong decision. What you want to do is you want to keep moving, and you want to get to a point, because while everyone's healthy, before you start starving to death, so that you can get out and get rescued. You don't stay in the woods. That's the wrong choice. Okay. So it's really good until the end. The end kind of ruined it, and then it became like wacky nonsense for me. They didn't stick the landing on this show for me.
It's not over. Just me. It's only halfway there.
We don't know how many seasons this is going to be.
No, I mean, they only get to winter. Some of them survive because we see them in the future. That's not the point I'm getting from it at all. They can't get out of there. They're stuck there. Some of them try to be rescued and they can't get anywhere because they don't know where they're going. They don't have supplies.
But they're not in the Himalayas. It's not the movie Alive. They're not stuck way out in the Himalayas.
Listen.
And they can't get out. They're in the U.S.
It doesn't
They're going to be able to find someone.
No.
The more you move, you're going to be able to find some signs of civilization.
There's vast areas that are not inhabited, and there's all kinds of animals and bears and things. They have no shelter. They don't have tents.
But if you're a teenager, okay,
anyway,
and you're capable of walking, you can walk a long way in one day. And they do have a little bit of food and supplies at the beginning. So essentially, what you would have done, as soon as you get to the cabin and you bag your first game, because they have weapons, you take that meat and it's like, okay, we're packing up, we're leaving. Oh, this guy's injured and he can't walk? You're on your own, buddy, because we get rescued and then we'll send someone for you. Because otherwise, they're all going to stay there and die.
That's not the point at all. Some of them, they do try to leave and get rescued and they get eaten by a bear.
But they wait too long.
A wolf or something.
No, they didn't get eaten by a wolf. They got into an accident.
They get eaten by a wolf.
Well, they got attacked by a demented...
wolf? Anyway...
Is it a wolf or a bear?
It's a wolf. Anyway, I don't think that's the point at all. The point of this is showing the girls the relationships in them, the cracks that were already in their relationships when this happens.
About teenage drama.
And what happens and how they turn on each other or work together. And now in the future, they all have this giant bond, even though some of them don't like each other.
And it's a secret. They don't tell anyone what happened. No. Everyone keeps wanting to know, and they refuse to tell them. They give them this BS story.
They know that.
So it's a mystery.
We only know some of them that came back. There are others, but they don't say which ones survive. Yeah. So we have to guess which ones survive and which ones don't. Anyway, and at the end, we do find out another survivor. But basically, it's about their relationships and about what happens to them there and how they have to fend for themselves and look after other people too and things. And then what it does to them in this present day and what kind of troubles they're getting themselves into because they're not normal people because they've gone through this horrific time and they've evolved differently from other people because they have to be so primitive in the woods.
There's some great performances. I mean... Melanie
really
Linsky,
great.
which we just saw in Last of Us. Okay.
Yeah.
Juliette
She's
Lewis
great.
as
She's
Christina Ricci is amazing in this. She's so creepy.
Oh yeah, she's really creepy. Really like that Melanie. She's like the main character, basically, of the whole thing. It's all about what she does that basically really alters a lot of their experience. And anyway, but it's great. And
March 26, 2023. It says it's only 5 episodes.
they're-
That's it.
okay, they're all messed up basically. Anyway, it's very interesting. I don't think it has anything to do with them leaving and getting rescued myself, but it's just a very interesting show. It's pretty brutal though, so if you don't like blood and guts and stuff, it's pretty.
It deals with a
brutal.
lot of adult
And that
content.
kind
It's not
of
really
thing.
for kids.
No, it's not for kids at all. And I
this-
like to think like, what about my class when we went on a trip like in grade 9? Like I was saying, what if that was us that would
trying
have
to
crashed?
survive in the woods. If it was me, I would have been gone. I'd be like, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting rescued, buddy. You guys can stay here at the cabin. Jeez.
Anyway, I think, well, a lot of us could fish and stuff like that. But still, like, the personalities and things like that, it's very interesting.
Oh, yeah, it'd be teenage drama. However, as soon as I saw the first episode, my theory, which still holds up, is this just devolves into a Lord of the Flies scenario. So
Well,
if you know
it
that
is-
classic tale of Lord of the
it
Flies,
is-
that's exactly what's going to happen.
It does have a Lord
Except
of
it's
the
mostly
Flies
girls.
element to it.
There are some guys there.
Yeah, it has definitely a Lord of the Flies element to it.
Oh, definitely.
We haven't seen all of that yet. We don't really know exactly what's happened. That's why we need to see the next season to see where exactly it's going.
What rating would you give the first season?
I'll give it like a 90.
90?
Yeah, because I don't really know where it's going. I hope it's not like a Shyamalan and it's gonna now trying to explain itself. It's not gonna work.
It started to at the end, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the ending of the finale. However, overall, it was amazing, and I'd give it a best series ever. But the end was like, okay, come on, no, that's not
it's
cool.
going a little Shyamalan.
It's going a little bit kind of comic book wacky at the end. I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Shyamalan is really great. It's really terrific, and then he has to explain what happened before, and sometimes the explanation isn't so good.
In
it's
3 weeks,
similar to that.
In 3 weeks, we're getting season 2.
Okay.
We're getting season 2, so I'm looking forward to it. Who else here has watched Yellowjackets, or are you going to check it out? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. We want to hear from you. We'll read it out on the next episode. And we got one more review for today. So, leading up to later on this month, we're getting John Wick 4. That's coming out on the 24th, I believe. And so we're watching the John Wick movies. We already reviewed number 1 from 2014.
Yeah, which I did enjoy.
So now we're reviewing John Wick 2 from 2017. This one's longer.
Yeah.
It's about half an hour longer. Big mistake, I feel, on their part. Do you want to summarize the movie? What happened in this movie?
I just wanted
The
it to
spoilers,
be over.
it's older.
I just wanted it to be over.
Why?
It is really boring.
Ooh.
I really didn't like it.
You like the first one?
This one is trying to kind of tease out this world. It's almost like not our world. It's like this world where all these people they have phone anyway. They're all these basically people assassins, and they have like a world.
Everyone's a mercenary assassin for hire.
They're trying to flush out this whole world and how it operates and stuff like that within this second. I mean, that's interesting, but the movie itself is really boring.
I'll give you a brief synopsis. The first part of it is he's going to get his car back that was stolen in the first one, and he doesn't do a very good job of it because it gets busted up.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
He was killing people to get to his car, and then he drives out, and they're just destroying his car and shooting at him. He's like, he should have taken out all those guys and then got his car.
I didn't like it. I didn't like...
Okay. And that's just the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it continues off from basically it's like the next day from
and then he's like, okay, I'm out, I'm done. No, because he's got an old buddy that has a marker. That means he has a debt to him.
And this is all explaining this, like how these assassins work. And
so we're seeing more of how this world works, and it's expanding. So it's doing what sequels are supposed to do. Up the action, up the drama, up the characters, up the storytelling. So we're finding more about this world. We're delving more into these characters. So he's got to go do another hit because otherwise, Anyway, so he does the other hit, but the guy betrays him. That's
Yeah.
also part of the poster. So then he's got to go kill this guy
And
that
that
made
should've
him
been
do this hit and betrayed
The
him.
end of the movie, it should have ended there, except it goes on
And the problem,
and on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of scenes that could have been cut out. Common is in this movie, and he's another one of the assassins, and he was really good. There was some good fight scenes there with him.
There's nothing wrong with the acting and stuff in it, but it's just
There's
so
a
boring.
scene at the bar between John Wick and Common, which was pretty good, but I think to make it tighter, they should have cut that out. There's another scene later on where John Wick is chasing after the guy who betrayed him, and he's gone into the Continental, the hotel where they're not allowed to kill anyone, and he has a conversation with the concierge. You should have cut that out. It was just, if you're making a fun, fast-paced action film, you don't want it to be just over 2 hours. You want it to be like an hour and a half, fast-paced, get to the point, and then have a good time and get out.
It's just really boring.
This one wasn't as good as the first one. It did make more money than the first one.
Well, I didn't like it.
Okay. I still think they could have cut a bunch of stuff out. And the problem so he has to take out this guy who betrayed him. And what happens is he takes him out, but he does it in the hotel, which is breaking the rules. You're not allowed to do that.
All these rules.
Okay, you're not allowed to conduct business, meaning killing or attacking people, on company grounds in the Continental.
The last movie. That happened in the last movie.
No, they have to stop.
No, that happened in the last movie with Adrian Pilecki. She did the same thing, and then she paid the price for it.
Yeah.
And they killed her.
But this time, John Wick has broken the rules, so now, at the end of this movie, he's declared excommunicado, which means everyone's coming for him, and he's kicked out of the hotel.
This whole movie is just unnecessary. I don't know.
So that sets up the third one, because he's got an hour, and then everyone's going to be coming for him in New York. And apparently, in this world, everyone works for this organization.
An assassin.
Like, they're in the park talking to Ian McShane at the end, and then everyone stops, and it just shows that they all work for him. It's this weird world where everyone's an assassin.
Babies in carriages. Anyway, I think it's not a good movie at all. And if this would have been the first one, it would have ended there. It's not very good.
I think they did screw up a little bit. I enjoyed it. I'd give it best movie ever, but it's not as good as the first one. But because it's part of the franchise, and this franchise is still going, it keeps making more and more money.
I didn't like it at all.
3 made even more. So 1 came out, it was a surprise hit, didn't cost very much. 2 made more money. 3 made even more money, and now they're coming out with 4. Now, I learned that 4, just this week, it's going to be 2 hours and 49 minutes. That is too long for a fast-paced action movie. Who wants to see an almost 3-hour-long movie?
Now. Yeah, I didn't like this one. The first one had a lot of interesting elements, and it was good, and it was fast, and it was 49
minutes.
This one, not good. I guess we're going to watch the third one. I don't really even want to watch it now. I give this movie like a 57. I really didn't like it.
But you did enjoy the first one.
Yeah, but this is just like taking, like, just pulling straw. I don't know.
There was a bunch of parts in the tunnel where they're in like Egypt or something. Maybe it was in Cairo, and it was too dark. I'm like, this is way too dark, and there's all these shots of this band that's playing. I'm like, I don't need to see this.
It's really strange.
Trim it down, buddy.
Yeah, it's really, and then
bad directing and editing.
And then that's over. You know, that should have been the end of the movie, and not the. You know, it was like within 20 minutes that happened, and that was kind of the whole point of that was what the whole thing was about.
I think they should just cut a lot of it out.
It was not good. So, unfortunately.
I enjoyed it. What do you guys think of John Wick 2? Have you seen it? Are you big fans of this franchise? This is getting more and more fans all the time. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And we're looking forward to the next one that's coming out on March 24th. Christine, how can people get in touch? How can people get in touch with us?
Okay. They can email us. CanadaMovieTVHosers@gmail.com.
Yep. What do we want to use that email for?
They can say hi to us and suggest things that they might want us to talk about.
Yeah, if you have any movie or TV properties or books that you want us to review, we're open to suggestions. And if you got entertainment news you want us to review, let us know,
and
please.
If you don't want us to watch Voyager, please let Gregory know.
So far, people want us to.
I don't want to. Anyway, you can find us on Twitter @CanadaHosers. You can find Gregory at St. John's Critic, and you want to get our attention on Twitter, use the hashtag #CanadaHosers, and we encourage you to like and subscribe. So that's all.
I got a couple of small comments there.
Oh, I got comments.
Got a couple of comments there.
I have to go to Michael's. Hurry up.
Okay, one comment on YouTube. Remember we did a trailer reaction for that Tetris movie that's coming out on Apple TV Plus? Bailey Arn commented Promosum. Do you know what that is?
No.
So I looked up the meaning and it says Promosum is a social media where you can promote your content after making certain charges fees for viral. Well,
this person's trying to get us to use their service?
Maybe.
That's like junk mail.
Okay. It's a social marketing website for creators to increase their likes, views, and
Come
followers.
on.
I would do that, but I'm too poor for that.
Junk mail.
Okay. Anyway,
Junk mail.
thanks for the comment there, Bailey Arnon. Okay, and for viewing our content. We appreciate that. I also got some comments on Twitter. So as soon as I can find them here, I got a nice comment from Angie. Yes, Angie, remember I saw Jesus Revolution with Kelsey Grammer? I didn't really care for it. It was a nice story, but it was okay, so I think I've forgotten most of it by now. So Angie, who is at GarlicGirl21 on Twitter, replied to our review and said, "Love the Jesus Revolution movie. Highly recommend it. I am bringing 4 friends with me to watch it again Tuesday. Don't miss it. One of the better movies I have seen lately." That's awesome. I think that's great that she enjoyed it. I mean, just because it wasn't for me, other people are really going to love it, and she's taking her friends with her. And I replied, "Glad to hear you enjoyed the movie, Angie. Hope you and your friends have a good time watching Jesus Revolution." And then she replied again, "Thank you. 9 of us going so far. 9 friends with her going to see this great movie? That is great."
People are going with their church groups. That's what it is.
A
lady that I know is on my Facebook, and she goes with a church group everywhere. Her whole church is going to see it. So it's getting lots of, I mean, if the whole church goes to see it, that's a lot of people. Getting a lot of people to go see it.
Well, thank you, at GarlicGirl21 on Twitter. I really appreciate your comments there. You can always shoot us comments there and reply to any of our reviews there, or leave comments down below. And we're going to be posting our new segment afterwards of Chakotay's Odyssey, featuring the adventures of Janeway. So if you don't like it, you can tune out now, or you can stick around and have some fun with us as we review Voyager. So, you guys enjoy, and we're out of here. Take care, everyone. Bye.